Man, you're gonna be like partnered up by the end of this episode because there's so many. I'm sure there's so many people who are like, that's also what I want. I just want someone to like.
Yeah, I want a guy who's not going to try to dry hump me across the room.
Across the room. Wait, do you
Hey,
mean
listen,
like from
sometimes
across the room or hump you into the
oh,
other side of the
no.
room?
Like, well, I mean, you got, first of all, he probably starts from the other side of the room, but by the time he gets to you, he's humped you across the room. It's a big room. It's a real big room. Hey, everybody, my name is Jonathan. This is a Work in Progress podcast with Aisha Alpha and me, Jonathan. And that's Alpha. Can I call you by your last name? Can I start referring you
because
as Alpha?
Everyone calls my dad Alpha. That even my mom calls my dad Alpha. So when someone says that, I'm
Alpha's
always like, sure.
On top, man. Like, I'm number one. No, that's great.
You meet my dad, and you're like, he's such a sweet little man. Yeah, no.
I think how we started is actually it's interesting because I wanted to talk about how you treat yourself today. You were texting me. Was it Sunday?
What
was it Sunday that you and Josh got to get Josh's partner, your
hubby,
husband,
and I
like the person that's in your family whose name we're allowed to say.
I know.
Yeah, we're allowed to talk about Josh. You guys got some getaway time, right?
Yes, we went away for one night without our children while his family looked after our kids, and it was magical.
Yeah, you were telling me that like Josh and I are getting away, we're staying in the hotel, and I'm like, why are you texting me?
Well, we had to drive.
You guys should be making another baby.
We had plenty of baby making practice, although we will never have another baby.
Right. But, yeah, you just got to keep those muscles,
Yeah.
Yeah. Muscle memory, that's all that is.
I mean, part of it is, like, I know people are always like, why are you texting anyone? I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Just sit there, like, while we're driving, saying nothing to Josh? No, I'm texting my friends. I'm like, what's up? I'm free. What's going on?
Right. Yeah, I started to give you a hard time, but I assumed, like, oh, yeah, this is also, like, a perfect time for you to catch up with the world.
Yeah, especially because, like, we're away and there's no childcare. So it's like we are on, let's pick big air quotations, vacation, but it's much more difficult than being at home. You know, like my kids aren't sleeping well because they're in different beds. We have a different routine. There's other people. It's like the weather is different. There's bugs everywhere. You know, it's just like, it's a lot. So when I haven't been able to like email people back or any, you know, this kind of stuff. So I'm kind of like, we're heading back in a few days, and I'm excited to go back. I had a really good time, but I'm excited to be in the routine again a little bit. And
I like in that list that one of the things you named was there's bugs everywhere.
Well, we're in the middle of nowhere and like a tree farm.
Yeah, so you know, there's new beds, you know, kids can't sleep, and these goddamn bugs.
It's kind of crazy though. Like, I looked down when I came out of one of the like out of the house. There's this like sliding thing. There's this big rock, and I looked down, and I'm not kidding you. There was like a spider the size of my palm, like nuzzled into this like crack with this little web, and I was like, okay, just stay out there, please. Like, I'm like, I don't want to kill you because I'm in your zone, right? Like, I'm in the woods. But at the same time, if you come into our house, I'm going to have to kill you. Like, I can't with spiders and things like that. If you're on the opposite wall, the opposite side, you do you, okay? But as soon as you get close to me, you got to die. Like, you can't be close to me.
It's the same argument that people who have guns have. They're like, hey, come in the house, I'm going to shoot you. Just so you know. Protecting myself.
I'm just saying, I want insects to live their best life, you know?
Right.
But I also need to live my best life.
I don't have a problem with insects, but as soon as an insect comes into my house, I'm going to exercise the Second Amendment. Is it the Second Amendment? Yeah. No, it's the Third Amendment. No, it's the Second Amendment, right?
Second Amendment.
Okay. All right. I felt real dumb there for a second.
I mean, I'm saying that with confidence, and then as I said it, I was like, well, is it?
So yeah, okay, so you guys got away. That's great. I think that's important. You know, I'm not a parent, but you know, I can see the importance of
getting away,
husband and wife time, especially once you have kids.
Well, it makes me yes, husband and wife time. partner time, co-parent time, husband, husband, wife, wife. What
Right.
I don't know what like the spousal name is
Your
if you are
partner.
non-binary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
People that are together romantically and making a family. That time is
absolutely.
very important. And also, earlier on, you asked, how do I treat myself? And the truth is, I treat myself by being completely alone. Because then, like at this point, because I have kids, even having my husband, whom I love and love, I've never wanted to spend time like this with anybody in my life, right? But because I am so needed during the day by little people
Right.
and like being touched, being my name, mama, 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 and like all this stuff, when that's done, I'm kind of like, I don't have anything left sometimes for Josh. So that's why it's nice to like get away because we don't have that other, like, we don't have our kids there that sort of drain us in a beautiful, loving way of a lot of our
Hmm.
energy. So we
Yeah.
have energy for each other when it's just the two of us. But like at home, sometimes I'm like, people are like, oh, you guys watching the show? I'm like, no, at the end of the day, all I want to do is like stop talking and not be looked at, you know?
Right.
So my like actual replenishing. I think I'm pretty extroverted, as I'm sure no one who knows me is super surprised about that. But I am also totally introverted as far as like how I recuperate, and that's totally solo. Like I go to take myself for like massages where like no one talks to me and they just like my body gets rubbed. That's like a
Right.
recuperating thing, or like being alone and like meditating or writing or watching trashy TV by myself. But like I don't know if I was always like that. I think I need that now though. Like what do you do to take care, like to treat yourself? I know you
I
do
think
manicures and pedicures with me.
well, so like honestly, that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk about this. I was like, I wonder if Aisha wants to do a mani pedi when she gets back.
Yes, yes, 100% I do.
Yeah, I was looking at these bear claws feet, and I was like, they need some love. They need.
These, I'm just gonna like people who this will be our Patreon. Look at
Oh
this.
man. Oh, my friend told me. So we have the poster of
Uh-huh.
our show coming up. We can talk about that in a bit. But she
Uh-huh.
was like, "Why is she giving away pictures of her feet for free?"
You know what's funny is I legit was like, oh my gosh, I totally didn't think about the fact that like there's like wiki feet and like all these people who like love
Right, right,
feet.
right.
I'm like, we should make. I was like, is this gonna be like a sexy poster for some people who like have a
Oh
foot
yeah, I mean, I
fetish?
think I know for sure we sold a nice handful of tickets, and I'm just gonna say those may all be on the strength of that foot pick. I'm okay with that.
Well, note to self, I will always put my feet in posters and if they're gonna
Oh
sell
yeah,
tickets
for
to
sure.
the
Yeah, like you just showed feet on. Like we're gonna get a nice little bump for sure. That is going to be the cover photo for this episode.
thing. Amazing.
No, what do I do? No, I'm like you. I love. I'm a tactile person, and I'm very much an introvert. Uh, I can be extroverted when I need to be, but I
Yeah.
tend to like my alone time. But I do like. I used to go get massages pretty regularly. I haven't been able to do that in a while. But I don't know. I enjoy it from maybe a different perspective. Like, yeah, sure. Like, it's nice to be touched in a like non-sensual way, and
Mm-hmm.
it makes you feel good. Like that's what your body does. Like sometimes I hold my own hand because it just like it
Mm.
feels good.
Yeah.
Uh, but let's see. Many petties are great. I have learned like you can only go get like pedicures like for me, like with certain people,
Yeah.
like not like you and I go, but I mean like for me, I love it when like this is gonna like hopefully this doesn't sound wrong. I love it when the person giving me the pedicure doesn't speak English.
Because then there's no pressure to have a conversation.
There's no pressure to have conversation. I know they're talking shit about my feet. I know that I went to there's this place. Should I say their name? I'll say their name. I don't care. Hammer and Nails. I went to Hammer and Nails. I don't know why I'm saying their name. They haven't given us any money for this. And a black woman was giving me a pedicure, and it was the most like there was so much pressure because she was just like, like the entire time.
I think you told me this, and she was like very judgmental about like things.
Oh, yeah, she was like, you need to lotion between your toes. And I was like, can you please stop talking to me? Just
Also, what a
rub my feet.
sensitive place. like between you
Yeah, I
toes?
was like,
Sure,
no,
motion
this
between
is
the toes.
it was so yeah. So there's certain things I like to know, but like massages, but I also like to just kind of get off the grid every once in a while, unplug, uh, the phone, turn the phone off, and like
Yeah.
I used to do this trip with friends, uh, pretty regularly in Georgia, but since then I don't get to do it as often. But like a couple years ago, I went to Big Bear. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I had planned on writing, but it was nice just to kind of like get outside of your routine and your normal
Yeah.
space. I think like from a creative perspective, it allows me to at least be a little bit more open and think about things that maybe I would not necessarily think about, like whether I'm in my home or at a coffee shop when there's a lot of stuff happening all the time. Um,
It's good to shake things up because I think even when we go to like a coffee shop in our neighborhood or something, you're still thinking about the same kind of pile of things,
right.
right? The same sort of, you're in the city, you're in LA, you're seeing the same kinds of people. But it's like, if you go to some other place, whether it's like the country or just a different country or like a totally different vibe or something,
Yeah.
you think about different things because your brain is like taking in all the little nuances that are different, which is cool. Like I wish I could be out here and just be writing because I think
Right.
I would write completely different. I would have completely different ideas. But I was going to say before, so about like, if you're single and
Yes.
ready to mingle, but like, would you ever, speaking of like touch and how our body needs touch and like
Hmm.
non-sensual touch and stuff like that, and sensual touch, obviously, but like, would you ever hire a professional cuddler to come and give you snuggles, non-sexual snuggles?
I'm
Because that's
so
a whole
glad
thing.
that yeah, I know. I'm so glad you asked Cuddler. Y- yes, maybe. Yeah, I don't see a reason why not. I mean, listen, I have like an opinion about sex workers that a lot of people wouldn't agree with. So,
I'm pro
like, if I,
sex work. I'm just putting it
yeah,
out
like if I
there,
think
spitting
like
it
sex
out hot.
works like good for sex workers, like then yeah, why would I not hire someone to cuddle with me? Uh, yeah, if that's what I felt like I needed, sure, 100%.
I'm like, because I'm very pro sex workers. I feel like it's a very patriarchal thing to say that, like, because a lot of sex work is based in like women and stuff like this, and that's like kind of where a lot
Yeah,
of the laws I think come from, and how that's like very not even. I mean, protected is the word probably the patriarchy would use, but like very like limited and restricted. Anyway, this is a whole other. I have a whole soapbox for
sure,
another time.
yeah,
But I'm like, I don't think it's bad. Like, I think that that's one thing, but I feel like when I heard about professional cuddlers, I was like, oh my gosh, it's my worst nightmare because I think cuddling is so much more like vulnerable and intimate than like sexual stuff. And so it
right,
feels like maybe if I found like, if there was somebody who was kind of like, obviously it's different because I have a partner who will cuddle me anytime, but like if
yeah.
I found somebody who like was the like you felt super comfortable with, but I feel like I would just feel so awkward and like tense the whole time if I hired somebody to cuddle me.
I think like yeah, I think ideally, I mean, maybe some people can uh, do this, but I think ideally you would want like your cuddler, like that they cuddle other people on a consistent basis. But it's like, oh, like if I have my favorite restaurant, I also probably have my
Yeah.
favorite waiter, or if I like training with a certain person at the gym, like it's not like I want to switch it
Mm-hmm.
up all the time. So yeah, like if you have a cuddler who kind of knows you and you can also like as you're cuddling have a conversation and they know what you're like, yeah, like that
Like,
makes
how do
sense.
people get to that? You know what I mean? I feel like this is like a sketch of
Right.
like trying out cuddlers.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a good question. Like, I guess you probably gotta kind of know what you're into. Like, I mean, I'll say this just about cuddling when I'm in a relationship. I have no problem being a little spoon. Like, it's if
I love
someone
to
is
be big
into being
spoon.
big spoon, yeah, I'm like, well, yeah, that's cool. But I mean, even for me, like, even sometimes, like in relationships, like or even not even like I guess I'll say like romantic relationships. Sometimes like I'm at home watching a movie and I'm just like, oh, I just kind of want to hold someone's hand.
Oh,
And again, it's just sort of like, oh, it's that human connection. It's
yeah,
not about like, can I have someone come over so I can hold their hand so I can start doing whatever, like
yeah, yeah.
all that's not there. It's just like, yeah, you're just kind of looking for human connection a little bit.
Man, you're gonna be like partnered up by the end of this episode because there's so many. I'm sure there's so many people who are like, that's also what I want. I just want someone to like
Yeah, I want a guy who's not going to try to dry hump me across the room.
across the room. Wait, do you
Hey,
mean like
listen,
from
sometimes.
across the room or hump you into the
Oh,
other
no, no,
side
no,
of the
no. Like,
room?
well, I mean, first of all, he probably starts from the other side of the room, but by the time he gets to you, he's humped you across the room. It's a big room. It's a real big room.
The big room didn't make it better. That's more
Yeah,
fucking traveling.
exactly. That's where my pitch is. I just want to hold your hand. Tired
I
of
mean,
getting
there's
dry humped
also a
across the
whole
room?
market.
Call Jonathan.
There's a whole market for people like, stop holding my hand. I want to be humped across the room. Sometimes you need to be humped across the room, you know?
Well, the other thing I like to do, which is I like to do this for myself. This is very much a treat myself thing, but I love
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes I will cook myself a very nice dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know like how often it happens, but I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna cook myself a steak dinner with all the fixings.
Nice.
But I actually prefer doing that for someone else.
I'm not even kidding you. This sounds like a dating profile at this point. We should have
It's
another podcast that's just like getting people like partnered up because
it's
this is
maybe like it's not my intention. Like it's just sort of like I literally like that makes me feel so good. It's a treat like really like I treat myself by like making a nice dinner for someone because I don't like cooking for myself. It's actually
yeah.
it sounds good, but like when you sit down and you're like, oh, eat the steak, it's like, all right, well
Yeah.
the,
Good job, me, right?
yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
the cooking process was really fun, and you're in the kitchen and
right.
you're playing music and you're drinking wine or whatever. But then like you're like, oh, I want to share this meal with someone.
Yes.
So like being able to cook for someone that you care about, and it isn't again always necessarily like I like cooking out like Ralph, our friend Ralph came
Yeah.
over not too long ago. We had a cookout, me, him, and my cousin, and I went like I really love doing that for them, and they're like, "Can we bring anything?" I was like, "No."
Mm,
I was like, "I got you."
I
Like
love
that's
it.
also a thing that I don't know if is that a treat yourself thing or just maybe that's more of like how you show people you care about them.
I mean, I think that it's like both, right? Because and this is I have therapy next, but I've talked about this with my therapist and she was talking about like in life and in like sex or in like any of these sort of like relationship stuff, there's like these quadrants where we do things sometimes we might like give a gift or like do an act to somebody, but it's really for us. So for
Yeah.
example, right? Like and then but that act some people try and what did she call it? She was like hostage gifting or something where she's like basically sometimes people when they are doing something for somebody else. So say someone's giving you a massage, right? Or like a foot massage. We'll use this since
Right.
it's on topic for a thing. A foot
Right.
massage. If you have a foot fetish and you're giving a foot massage, you're giving a gift of a foot massage, but you're giving it, it's for you. It's not for the other person
Right.
because you get joy out of it, right? Like you are doing it
Sure.
because of you. And the other person may not really care about getting a foot massage. Like they might be like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I don't really want it or not want it, but they know that you're going to enjoy it because you love feet. So
Right.
they're going to go, great, I will receive this so that you can be happy. But she was like, the difference is if you're giving a foot massage for someone because they like a foot massage, it's about them versus if it's about you. So what your expectations are different. If you're the fetish person giving a foot massage, you're not asking the person like, what feels good? Do you want me to like do your big toe and then your heel? Because you have an agenda. Whereas if you're doing the thing for somebody else, you're like, well, I want to make you feel good. And I know that foot massages make you feel good. So like what feels good? So it's like
Yeah.
a different, like slightly different way of doing things. So like when it comes to things like cooking, I think that's something that if you tell people like, don't bring anything, right? It's like, I'm doing this because I want to do this. I want to cook this. I want to have this food. I want to like make a meal. I want you guys to enjoy it, but like, it's really kind of for you. Whereas if it
Yeah.
was for other people, you'd be like, what do you guys want to eat? Let me cook you the thing. And if someone's like, I want like a tofu burger, and you're like, damn it, I wanted like steak, you would still make the tofu burger, right? Because it's like a thing for
Yeah.
them. So it's like, I mean, I think that there's nothing wrong with either side of it because as long as the other person who's receiving is into it, right? Like
Right.
you're not forcing Ralph to come over and eat a steak if he's a vegan. There's a whole
Right.
other.
Yeah. No, I had someone like this was maybe a couple years ago, uh, ask if I could make them meatloaf, and I was like, no.
Random.
Yeah, I mean, I think they knew that I like cooking, and they were like, "I'm gonna come over, and you can make meatloaf, and I'm gonna bring my Tupperware with me." I was like, "No, that's not how this works," because I think what you're saying, cooking for me is about me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to ask someone like, "What do you like?" or like, "Give me like seafood." Give me what you can't eat, what you do, or what you're interested
Yeah.
in. But for me, it's like, oh, I get to try a new recipe and like make something nice and kind of like, and it's not even really showing off for that person. It's just like, oh, like I'm stimulating myself, sort of like
Yeah.
learning
An
how to do
activity you
something new.
like. Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say the foot thing, I don't think I have a foot fetish. I know that was just an example you used, but I like rubbing feet. Does that make sense?
Does it turn you on?
No, what turns me, I like, it would be weird to say what turns me on. I think for stuff like
Tell
that,
us, tell us.
it is about providing the other person, uh, pleasure is not the right word I'm looking for, because sometimes, again, like not all massages need to be sensual. Sometimes, like if it's a person you really care about and they had a long day and they're on their feet, you're like, oh, can I rub your feet? Like it's sort of like, oh, like I'm not gonna rub your feet so I can like get you in the bedroom. I know you had a long day. Sex is probably the last thing you want. So it is like me,
I'm
it is
I'm
something for
I'm
the other
telling you
person.
right now that you I don't even understand how you are single.
Oh,
All
I
the
can.
things you
Oh,
were
I do.
saying, it's like all the things you're saying are like telling some. I know you had a hard day. I just want to rub your feet. Sex is the last thing on your mind. This is not. I mean, you must know that that's not a typical thing
I,
that a lot of women, anyway, like femme women here who are
maybe,
dealing with
maybe
you.
not. I mean, I think like I'm sure there was a moment where it was like, hey, let me touch you so I could get in that. But like, I'm an adult now, right? And it's
I
sometimes
mean, you
like,
would be surprised, Jonathan.
okay, fair enough.
I have come across many men who are older than you, who are like 13-year-olds. They're like, "Oh, I'm touching your shoulder, so we gonna fuck," and you're like,
Right.
"What just happened?" Like we are like it's so bizarre.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't know. I think it's really different.
I guess, I mean, maybe, I don't know. But no, I think, because what I get out of it though is knowing that that person, again, like feels good. And then there's that range. There's that range of like, oh, you're just caring for them as a human being. And there's also like the range of like, oh, I'm going to do something for someone. I don't know why I'm like being very cautious about what I'm saying. You're like, oh, I want to provide some pleasure for someone in the way that makes them feel good, because it makes me feel good knowing that I made them feel good.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
totally.
Can I tell you a
I
funny
just think
massage? Oh, go ahead.
yes. Oh no, I don't even know what I was gonna say. Now that I've heard a funny massage story, I'm in.
So when we were writing on Lily, I think I'm allowed to tell this story. There was a day where I think she knew that all the writers' room we were pretty worn down. And so she like set up these massages for us, which was nice. Like I can't remember if we didn't work the entire day or maybe the half of the day. Like we just sort of had these professional masseuses come in. Because part of me was like, you could have let us go home early, or we could have just not came to work today also. But it was the thought that counts. And like the women in the writer's room had a lady massage person and the men had a male massage person. But Lily had this office. She had this big office that she never used. So they put us in there and they had like a divider in the room. So we couldn't see each other. But if I remember right, no one had took off their clothes. It was all like over the clothes.
Okay.
Massages anyways. So I was the last guy in our group to go, and I'm getting my massage. I've had massages before. Like I feel like massages for most of the people in the writer's room was like a very new experience, because everyone was like, oh, massages. And I was like, yeah, massages, cool. Like sure, like I appreciate it, but it's also like, so I'm there face down, head and hole. My guy, he's like in there, he's like getting in there. And then like I feel the table start to shift. And I'm like, what's happening? I'm head and hold. So all I can see is the floor. And I'm like, this motherfucker is climbing on the table with me, and we're about the same build, me and this guy.
He
So
starts
I
humping
feel
you across the room.
I was like, could you just hold my hand, please? He like I don't know like if he needed the leverage or what, but he gets in there and like I'm I'm just like, how is he on the table with me? And like he also gave me like this. Have you ever had an eye massage?
No, this sounds amazing.
It's like this kind of cool gel pack that you put over your face like a eye mask, but it's
Hmm.
got a machine in there that just sort of slowly rotates over your eyes. And so it's just so relaxing.
Yes.
So all this happens, right? Like I get the eye massage. This guy climbs on the table. Afterwards, he was like, "Here's my card." He goes, "I do home visits and stuff like that." I'm like, "All right." And I go back in the room with the rest of the writers, and everyone's chatting about their massages and how great it was. And I didn't say anything at first, and then I just turned. I was like, "Did anyone else? Did anyone else have someone climb on the table with them?" And they were like, "What?" And I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. Me neither.
Yeah, yeah. Then I was like, also, I got an eye massager. Like, oh my God, this guy gave you like the
Oh my
full package.
gosh.
And I remember like this was pre-COVID. So like a couple times during COVID, and again, like maybe he was just looking for work. He was like, hey, you want like a house call? I was like, absolutely not, bro. Like, I barely know you. It's like quarantine. I'm not, uh, no, I think I used to be a masseuse in a past life though.
They can
I
feel
really
it
did.
when they get near you. They're like, "Oh, this guy knows."
I like, yeah. I mean, I dated someone who was an occupational therapist. So like as she was studying that, like there was a lot of uh, sort of like her like touching parts of my body, like she was learning muscles and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And so like I also found myself interested in how like touch makes you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And so like again, like this idea of me like giving someone a foot massage is for me. I'm very interested in like pressure points and how that makes that person feel. Like I
Mm-hmm.
almost bought a massage table for my apartment. And then
I
I
think I
thought,
remember you saying this, and I was like, "What is
yeah,
happening?"
I think people's reaction was that. And I was like, oh, that sounds weird. I was like, I can't just start inviting random people or my friends, like, can I give you a massage?
Well, also because like you lived alone at the time, and it was
Right.
quarantine, and then you were back. So it's like it's not like it was for you. You can't
Yeah.
massage yourself while your head's
No,
in the
you can't
wall.
massage.
So
Yeah.
it's
I was
like,
like,
what
oh, I
is
think
that?
I wanted to get a massage table to give other people's like give them massages. But then I was like, that's weird. Like even if like I was inviting someone over after a date and they like opened the door to my second
That'd be a
bedroom.
mood. Like that's like a creepy. Like that's how the serial killer gets you. It's like, why don't you lay down for this
Right,
massage?
right,
You
right. Yeah,
know?
it's like it's me like and like that wasn't like me thinking like, oh, this would be sexy. Like what's the movie?
Oh, 50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades Great. Yeah, it wouldn't even be like, welcome to my massage dungeon.
Although you had the what was it, the Nordic track? So that combined with the
Oh, I had
massage,
a
it might
lot of
have looked like a
exercise
sex.
equipment.
It might have looked like a sex room. You know what I mean? If you had
Yeah,
all
yeah,
those
yeah.
things in one room, like that would have been,
People,
yeah.
yeah, it would have thrown someone off because I could see someone being like, "Oh my god, he's got a lot of sexy stuff." I'm like, "No, this is for your mental health, girl."
You look stressed, baby. Come here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch you at all. I'm gonna put this eye mask over your head and leave you alone for 30 minutes.
Just cut to you like reading a book.
Yeah,
And it's like
let this
totally
ambient
legit.
music take you away. Oh yeah,
Oh my
I would.
god,
I think
too
I would.
good.
Maybe that should be my side hustle. Maybe I should go get trained. I don't know.
It just sounds creepy. No one's gonna believe that. You know what I
You're
mean?
absolutely right because yeah, most guys like when if I ever were to say like I just want to hold someone's hand, most girls are like, yeah, right, whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah,
This reminds me of the story of like nobody's gonna believe that. No one's gonna come in and lay down on that massage table and let you massage them unless they are crazier or like more dangerous than like anything you could be. And then they're like, sure. I have a joke about how when I was 16, I went to France with like a school trip. And my friend Aaliyah and I were like, let's like get lost from the school trip. And we like left the group and went off on our own. And we were like, we're gonna go have drinks, you know, like. And we go to this bar and we were like, I remember ordering. I was like, I'll have one drink, please. And they're like, like, what do you want? Like, we were just so young and so dumb.
Okay.
So we had, I
Yeah.
had like my first alcoholic drink. Like, I was drunk after one, basically. And these like man and his two kids sat next to us. And she started making out with one of his sons, and the other son was like 12. So I was like, okay, no. So let me talk to his dad. And so I talked to this man who's like,
You
you
just
know, probably
jump
in his
from.
40s, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like things got wild fast. And he was like, yeah, like, we're from Switzerland. I'm like, oh, cool. I know Switzerland. You guys have good chocolate. And he's like, yeah, I have chocolate if you want some. And I was like, yeah, I do. And so he's like, okay, come with me. So I, like, drunk, 16, by myself in a country that's not mine, leave my friend, go with this man. He's like, it's just in the back here in this alley. And I legit, like, when I tell this story, people are like, what the actual? And I was like,
I know, yeah.
I go to this back alley, and there is, I kid you not, like the typical raper van, right? Like from back in the day that you would kidnap someone ever. Big old industry van, no windows, anything like that. All white, blacked out on the things. And he goes, it's just in my van. And I was like, great, open her up. And he opens up the van, and it's dark. And I led him in. I went in first. And I'm like,
no.
This is how you get killed. And then the lights go on. Whole thing is lined with chocolate. He was like a distributor of chocolate. Let me take like a few chocolate bars and like walk me.
Willy Wonka's nephew.
For real. And I was like, this is why.
Oh my God.
I think I've done all this traveling and gotten to these crazy situations when I tell people, and they're like, why? How did you not die? And I'm like, I think it's because in that situation, maybe he was going to murder me, but he was like, this bitch is crazy. He's like, I don't know what I'm up against here if she's willingly coming in here. So he was like, all right, just take the chocolate and leave. But like,
he's like, I could kill her, but this is going to come back to haunt me.
Yes, she's a witch or something. So
that's so crazy.
You just got to be crazier. But I feel like that's what would happen. You would get somebody back there, and they're like, you're like, you want a massage in my sex room? And they're like, okay, let's do this. And then it cuts to like you tied up in like your Nordic track and like all your.
I think I did go out with that person for a little while. There was a person that I was seeing for a little bit, and the first time she was over, she told me that I was the type of person that, well, I don't know how she said it, but she's like, I expected you to have like a box of sex toys. And I was like, what? Like, I think my first question, I was like, just loose sex toys? like I was like when I open, does a glow come out? But they're just like, are they used? I was like,
that's the thing. When people have all these sex toys, they're like, are they used on other people? And they like disinfect them, run them through the dishwasher? What are you doing to clean these sex toys?
I have had friends who, like, female friends tell me, like, yeah, they have like hooked up or dated people. Like the first time they went over, they had like, I guess like handcuffs or like, because there's things you can buy like that go on your bed. And in my mind, I'm like, that's a crazy. Like, if you're going to show me that you already have this, I'm like, oh, you're going to murder me. That's like how my mind works. So for her to be like, oh, I just was hoping you would bring out a box of dildos or vibrators or whatever she was really hoping that would happen that night, I was like, oh, you're crazier than me. Because you kind of was hoping it would have happened.
I feel like that's a compliment for a woman to say, like, I thought you'd have a bunch of sex toys, because I feel like it makes for me, it makes me think like you're open, you're sexually open, like you're interested in pleasure for both people.
Sure.
And like, if I went to someone's house when I was single and they had handcuffs, probably in a certain time of my life, and they had handcuffs, I'd be like, yippee-ki-yay, let's go. Because it's like, this is what they're leading with. This is like a part of their personality, you know? But I don't know. Handcuffs
is fine, I think, to have. Maybe like feathers or like certain toys. Anything that's going to go inside of you, we're going to go buy that together. That's a trip we can take to the store together and buy a new one.
So let me ask you this then. What about vibrators that just go on the outside?
It's same. Anything that's touching genitalia. Yeah, anything. And actually, after we use it, it's yours now. Like, it's like a solo cup. I'm going to put your name on it. Just put it on the shelf for the next time you come over. Like, don't use anyone else's vibrator.
I like that you have this big shelf with like Christina, Cheryl, Janice, like all these different
Oh, those are all lovely names. I would like to meet all those women.
Oh,
those are all beautiful names. Yeah.
Cheryl, Christina, and Janice, if you're listening, please write in our DMs.
Hit us up on the A Whip Podcast Instagram page. Well,
Oh
this is
man,
a
I
fun
love that.
conversation. I feel like it's deviated from how we like to treat ourselves to maybe how we like to treat other people.
Hey! This visual of the lockers with the different ladies' dildos in there is really my
Oh, it's turned
favorite.
into a locker now. Like they all have like their own like they have a lock and they're like, what was it? 3 to the left,
Sometimes
2.
like one's coming out and one's coming in. She's like, "Ooh, have a good time, lock, lock." No, I'm getting mine out.
Right.
The revolving door.
That's funny. Now I feel like I want to do that. Not necessarily. Anyways, whatever. That feels like a good place to end because anything else, like I feel like I'm just going to say something stupid that I'm going to have to edit out.
We'll say we're ending now. We'll talk for 5 more minutes, and that'll be what people have to pay for.
Yes. Can we briefly talk a little bit about the upcoming show that we're doing?
Yes, please. People based in and around Los Angeles. This isn't just a podcast. This isn't just the best friendship you've ever heard. This is also a tour. Okay.
Yes.
A work in progress. We are doing shows in LA and surrounding, and actually international shows as well. Some of us. We're splitting up for some of these shows. We're coming back together. But our very first show on this whole journey is going to be on September 21st, which is a Thursday. And that is at Broadview in Los Angeles. So if you are in LA or the area, we would love to see you at a show. It's going to be both Jonathan and I each running like a half an hour each, running longer sets in preparation for filming, shooting in the new year. So come out. That's going to be very small venues, very small and intimate. We'll be able to touch your face from the.
I might give you a massage.
You might, if you want a foot massage, please put it in the DMs before.
During the show.
While he's doing
as the show's going on, I'm like,
bring your own sex toys though, because he doesn't know what you want yet.
Yeah, you better write your name on your sex toy, because we ain't using more than one sex toy. Everyone gets one sex toy.
And then you better take it home with you when you're done.
Right.
But yes, we would love to see you out. We would love to make you laugh. We would love to just connect with y'all. So September 21st, you can get tickets on Eventbrite, and we can possibly put a link in this. I'm pointing down because I assume that's where it is.
Where are we putting the link?
Maybe it's there.
Put the link in this.
Put your link in this. But yeah, so we would love to see you. We have a couple shows we're going to do in LA and the area. So as they come up, but yeah, I think you can, I say all this because I know Jonathan's been an absolute champ and has made a website. He has made posters. The foot poster. Hey, you like feet? Maybe I'll do a barefoot.
You like feet? Ooh. That's offering a lot. We're going to have to raise the price of tickets if you're going barefoot.
But yeah, check it out. Get tickets early because there are not a lot of them.
I'm excited for it. And I'm excited that we're doing it together.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, and then maybe we'll talk a little bit more maybe in a future episode. Obviously, I think it'd be cool to talk about the experience because, as you said, like these it's called a work in progress show because like we have an end goal where we're going to be shooting, recording an hour. So like these shows are kind of intentionally not perfect, and I think that'll be really fun for both of us, but also hopefully the audience coming to it, knowing that they're going to see something as it's being created. So yeah, maybe we'll talk a little bit more about that on future episodes.
And how people can come to multiple shows because they'll be different.
You'll see how the things grow. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Exciting. Cool. You'll see how we grow. We're growing through this process.
We are, for sure.
Cool. What a delight. It's always obviously it's my favorite thing to talk to you. I love it.
Yeah, this is the highlight of my week.
Me too. Don't tell my husband.
Don't tell.